Okay, so I just want to talk for a minute about a incident where my father just kept on digging himself into a hole. The thing is about kind of narcissists is that they don't admit fault, and there was a couple of things that we confronted him about where he just got himself in even more of a mess because this acute refusal to take accountability when he's done wrong. So it started off where we had to get a gym lease agreement signed as part of a trust. And this lease agreement circulated via email, and we had to sign it, but also then get it witnessed. But what was interesting about my father's signature and the witness signature was the witness was one of his friends, which was local to him in Lytham, St Anne's. And yeah, what was interesting was we had actually known, due to some mail redirection, that he'd actually moved to Spain. So it was immediately suspicious. It's like, why is this friend witness to who's in Lytham St Anne's? So this person, and I've met him before, he's quite successful in business. So I thought, okay, well, he's probably signed off some accounts on Companies House. So I looked up his businesses, looked at the documents, and I found his actual signature, and it was completely different to this witness signature. It didn't even lean in the same direction. So yeah, he effectively, my father, forged his signature because obviously he didn't want us to know that he'd moved to Spain, and actually he was being really guarded about where he was living. We kept on asking him formally through my mother's lawyers, where should we forward the post. He said either return to sender or forward anything to his solicitor. And we kept on asking him, like time and time again, what's your address, and he was just being really guarded. He didn't want us to know that he'd moved to Spain in with his ex-secretary, believe it or not. So yeah, we just kept on kind of playing the game and prodding him. Where do you live? What's your address? Where should we send it? Again, just being really guarded. And then it kind of came to a head where he'd forged the signature. So yeah, finding out his witness signature was forged, I decided to write to his friend, and let's just call him Ryan. Maybe call him Ryan Tricky. So I wrote very kind of formally, please can you confirm this witness signature is indeed yours? Kind regards, Stuart. Very formal. And so yeah, we had nothing to lose in doing so, because either he would lose his shit at my father, like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Or we could maybe find out that he does nothing, says nothing, or he then decides to collude or even sympathise with my father. And to be honest, we had nothing to lose. We'd gained some information as a result of it. But yeah, a couple of weeks went past and nothing happened. We kept chasing my father to have the gym agreement properly witnessed, because we confronted him that it was a forged signature. And anyway, yeah, literally a long time passed. And what happened was I got the agreement properly signed, this time by Ryan Tricky. But then there was a photo of him, and I'm going to put this photo up, and I'm just going to mask their face with Muppets, because that's what they are at the end of the day. And the expressions on the Muppets' faces is exactly the same as what they had on their face, and I have AI to thank for replicating the looks on their faces. I mean, it's just it's just brilliant. But yeah, I mean, it was quite troubling, this kind of smiling look on my father's face, thinking he was being smart. And what was even more interesting, was my father backdated the photo to the 9th of March. And I was like, I'm looking at this metadata, and it's like, that's really suspicious. Why on the 25th of March would you backdate it to the 9th of March? And I just want to highlight as well, on the 7th of March, we received the forged signature. So he backdated it to the wrong date, and he's trying to make it look like, actually, yeah, we did originally sign this, but I sent a sample document by accident. But this was actually us signing it, and I was kind of preempting that you were going to challenge me about it, and I was going to send back this photo. So, and I hope you're kind of following this. So, essentially, he was trying to stage a scenario where we would challenge the signature, but he actually preempted that we would challenge it, so he staged this photo. So yeah, I mean, there's discrepancies in the metadata and the system file data that on a photo where the metadata hasn't been manipulated, you have something called the system modified date and the system created date. These should match, but because he edited the metadata, they didn't match up. So yeah, that's kind of how there's discrepancy. So he was essentially trying to manipulate metadata to try and discredit and devalue us and make us look stupid. But actually, he just kept on digging himself into an even bigger hole. So effectively, first we confronted him about forging someone else's signature. Then he's got his mate Ryan Tricky to then stage this photo a couple of weeks later, effectively, and then he backdated it. So yeah, again, it's like, why did he backdate it? I asked the question, and he said, well, it was quite simply, using the word simply to try and patronise me, quite simply a sample document sent by accident. So effectively, the forged signature was a sample document. Now, can you give me any reason why you would put somebody else's incorrect signature on a document and then send it? So yeah, I mean, again, just real issues with this one. It was quite troubling. The look on his face, getting a friend involved in all this, was quite troubling. And what's quite apparent is, I bet his friend doesn't know about the historic physical abuse. He doesn't know about all the kind of emotional and psychological games he used to play. He probably doesn't know the true extent of the cheating, or maybe he does. Ryan Tricky, if you're listening, I don't know whether you found all his behaviour acceptable. If you want to see over several hours of video content, over 100,000 words in communications, court papers, you're welcome. Just get in touch with me. I'll give you the password to the website, and you can see absolutely everything. You can see the confrontation about DNA paternity test. You can find out all about the love bombing and the affair. You can find all about court papers related to him beating my mother. And yeah, it is quite interesting that you take such an interest in women's rights when it comes to trans. I wonder whether you take a similar stance to against people who beat their wife. I don't know. But yeah, I'd quite like to know if you think my father's behaviour is acceptable, seeing as though you stuck up for him in his time of need when he forged his signature. So yeah, would like to know. Get in touch.